Hey everyone, this is Josh Galvin with Tizish.com. On this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create stealth sites, which are one-page landing pages that are non-branded for your using your existing system. Now, before I jump in and show you all the things you need to know about stealth sites, here's why you might want to use a stealth site. Let's say you're going to do Craigslist marketing and you have a special report or something, or maybe a special buyer or seller report or a home value. I mean, basically anything that's very laser focused for lead capture and you want someone to sign up for it. Well, basically making a stealth site would be a good idea to give them that one-page landing page that's focused purely on that content. Alright, let's just go through an example and you'll see what I mean. And in the training, we're going to give you a lot of tips and strategies on using stealth sites anyhow. But so let's just jump into it. So here's what you want to do. Stealth sites exist not as postings but as pages. Alright? So if you want to make stealth sites, you need to make a page. So I'm going to go to Add New, and it's going to work just like a regular page with a couple extra functions. And now we're just going to create your regular page. I'm going to call this is a stealth site example post. And now I'm just going to go ahead and copy all this copy all this text. And let's say this is our text, right? So now we have our title, we have our blog posting. As a normal page, I could go ahead and hit publish right now, and then here's what's going to happen. And I know this part's obvious for you, but I need you to understand this. So I go to view page now, and here we have a regular page, right? Well, now let's say we want to make it a stealth site. A stealth site's going to remove all of this branding here, and then all of the branding here at the bottom. But it's going to keep your company and DRE number just for legal reasons. So now what we want to do is go back to our admin panel, and you could do this all from the start. I'm just showing you step by step. Now what you got to do is scroll down for a while. You have all these boxes, and if you don't know what all these boxes are, I have separate tutorials showing you all of these boxes, so don't worry. The one we want to find is the one called custom fields here. Alright, now what you want to do is click on enter new. Type the word stealth site, spelled exactly like that, all lowercase with no spaces, stealth site. Into the name, and then into the value, type the word yes. And now you want to click on this button that says add custom field. You'll see it gets added because it comes up here. And now what we want to do is scroll up, and we want to click on update or publish if this is your first go around. And now the second we do that, you're going to notice on this page, here's how it was before. Now I'm going to refresh, and here we have our stealth site. Notice how all the branding's gone, and we have our text here. And then now here's the thing though, you see how there's blank space here? This is for a sidebar. And this is the part of the stealth site I want to explain now. There's three things I want to explain: how to put a custom banner across the top, and then how to make a sidebar show up. So you know how on our home page or on our regular sites we have a sidebar here. Well, you have a stealth site sidebar specifically. Alright, now sometimes you might want to have a sidebar, sometimes you might want to have full width. So first let me show you we'll go over the sidebar stuff at the end. So just for the sake of this tutorial, keeping it smooth, here's our stealth site. There's a couple things missing from here. So first, let's make it full width. Let's say if you're like, I don't even want a sidebar here, you want it to be full width. What you gotta do is go back here, and under template, choose no sidebars. And now we want to update this post by clicking the blue button. And once this updates, you're gonna see that this page, when we go here, when I hit refresh, it's gonna become full width, meaning the sidebar disappears. Alright. Now this is the most common way you're going to be using a stealth site. You'll be using it most commonly as a full width page, and that's why I'm going to go over the sidebars at the end. But notice that your company name or your website name and your DRE number is going to always appear at the bottom. All right, and now here's our stealth site. So here's a couple things you want to do every time you do a stealth site. You always want to have some kind of banner across the top. Obviously, you can have all your content. It could be a video, it could be images, whatever the case is. All right, you could have your banner across the top completely. Here's what I want. I want to show you how you can have a banner across the top. All right, now what you want to do before we begin, The perfect size image, like let's say you want to have an image that goes from left to right that shows as part of the header design of this. The perfect size image is 960 pixels width. So keep that in mind. Whoever's making your graphics, 960 pixels width is the picture that will fit perfectly into the frame here. Alright, so here's how we do that. We go back to our admin panel, click on Upload Insert. Now we choose a file. I'm going to use this example picture I have made already. I upload the picture. And this is a little bit different than before though. So if you're used to adding images this way, it's different right now. What we got to do, last time I told you how to insert into post and do all that stuff, we're not doing it this time. What you want to do is go to link URL, click the button that says file URL, and then now you want to highlight all of this text. You want to copy it. And now do not insert into post. Just get out of here. After you copy the text, just get out of here by clicking outside of it. Now what you want to do is scroll down to where it says post image and thumbnail. It might be closed. So if it's closed, just click on it and you're going to have this box come up. Your box may be bigger or smaller than this, or it may be longer than this. Alright, but either way, go to the first line that says post image URL. And then what you want to do is paste that URL that we just copied from the image upload. Alright, now post image alt text. I'll call this search like an agent. You'll see why. Remember, the alt text is the text that you're telling Google what the picture is. Alright, now here's what you want to do. I like to have do not frame this post, and now what we want to do is position it. So do we want to position it, see how it says flush left with no text wrap, left with text wrap, right or centered? Horizontal means which position. If this is our stealth site, horizontal is from left to right. Do we want it left aligned, right aligned, centered aligned, or whatever the case is? So I'm going to have it, I like flush left with no text wrap because I want this to be a title. Now vertical position, meaning where on this grid, up here, down here, or down here do you want it to be? We have options of above headline, below headline, before post page content. So if it's above headline, this is our headline, which means it's going to be above here. If we have below headline, it's going to be right below here. If we have before content, that's going to put it right here. Alright? So I want to do this above the headline because it's going to be our header image for the stealth site. So now after choosing flush left with no text wrap above the headline, and we put the URL code here, we scroll up, we click on update or publish, whatever the case is for you. And now after it updates, we go here, we hit refresh, we're going to see the banner come across the top. See, now we have a banner. That's why I said search homes like an agent. This is just my test banner. And now we have this picture here. We have our content here and everything. Just to quickly show you what those other options were, let's go back in. Let's change the positioning. Let's say I wanted to say left with text wrap, and I want this below the headline. Alright, or let's just say I want it flush. I still want it flush left with no text wrap. I think this is self-explanatory. The text wrap meaning, does text go around it or not, or does it just start a new paragraph? So let's just move the vertical position below headline. Now when I click on update, now it's updated, and I hit refresh, we're going to see it below this headline, just like that. So obviously the ideal place is above headline. So just to remind you, the ideal settings for putting a banner is going to be flush left with no text wrap and above headline. Alright, now let's talk about a couple other items. We want to talk about the sidebar issue that I mentioned, as well as just what do you want on a stealth site. So I hit refresh. Let's pretend this is your stealth site. Every time you make a stealth site like this, you always have to at least include a contact form, because if someone's reading your content, you're obviously going to have graphics, maybe a video that says call me and that kind of contact information, but you always want to put a contact form. So remember, after all your postings or inside of all your text somewhere, just put a contact form. The way you do that is just choose where you want the form to be and click on this button here, add a gravity form. And I have a whole separate video tutorial, by the way, that shows you how to create these contact forms. And let's just say this was requesting a home value. We insert the form. I click update. Now I know I did that fast. I have a whole separate tutorial showing you how to create, how to insert, how to modify, everything you need to know for these contact forms. Now we entered our contact form here. We go back to our page. I hit refresh. And now we have our contact form here. So you see, so the whole idea is at least put a contact form somewhere in your stealth site. Ideally, it's at the end of it, you know, in some kind of way, and it's going to be a contact form that matches the exact text. But still, that's the main point I want to make about this. Alright, now let's just go and delete this extra text just to make it look realistic. So now this is our stealth site. So let's go back to now the one that had sidebars. So we go back to default template, and earlier on I showed you how a stealth site existed with a sidebar. Alright, so now we go back to our stealth site page here, and when I hit refresh, there's two things that are going to be mistaken, that are going to be messed up now. See the picture here, how it cuts off? The picture's going to cut off at the exact mark it tells you. So see how there's no sidebar here and the picture gets cut off? Well, that's because the picture is only meant to be 623 pixels across. Alright, so you know how when I said the full width was 960? Well, for this it's 623 pixels across. So if you're gonna have a header for your stealth site here, make sure it's 960 pixels across only. Alrighty, so now let's go back to our admin panel. And just keep that in mind, 623 pixels, it'll tell you up here as well, is what you want to have it ideally if you're going to have a sidebar. But now let me show you how to actually use your sidebar for your stealth sites, because notice you actually do have widgets inside your sidebar already. So under appearance, under widgets, let's open this in a new window. And if you don't know what widgets and if you don't know what sidebars are right now, then I have a whole separate video tutorial explaining this whole section about widgets and sidebars. But notice here, let's go to your home page just to show you. On your home page, here's your sidebar. You already have a widget here, and everything. And notice that lines with sidebar 1. We have your MailChimp, your recent posts, etc. If you scroll to the bottom, there's one called Stealth Site Sidebar. Alright? Now let's say you want to just put latest blog postings into here, into your stealth site sidebar. Well, what that does is, let's do another one actually. Let's put recent posts, same thing. We put your recent posts into your sidebar. Well, what that's going to do now, because this is a stealth site sidebar, we go here, when I hit refresh, it's going to add recent posts here. See that? Recent posts at the top. Now, what we want to do though is, actually it's as simple as that. You just put your widgets. So you can put as many widgets as you want into your sidebar. So let's just say we want to put Twitter. I'm going to call this, it's going to be from my Twitter. We click on save, whatever the case is. Alright. Now we go back to our sidebar. We hit refresh. Now Twitter's not working for whatever reason, but basically you see how the Twitter widget comes up, recent posts and everything. You can put as many widgets as you want. But here's one key thing, and this is the crucial thing, and I have 2 minutes to explain this part. Alright, when you enter a widget for a specific sidebar, remember this is a stealth site sidebar for all your widgets. So what you need to do is use this tool at the end of your widgets to choose the specific stealth site that this widget belongs to. Alright, so let's say if you had 2 stealth sites. You want the Twitter widget to be on a different stealth site, well, you want recent posts to be on the exact stealth site we have here. See the title? This is a stealth site example post. When you enter a widget here, make sure that when you enter a widget here, you have to click on this show hide widget, put show unchecked, and scroll down to the page that you want. So this is a stealth site example. You're going to basically tell the widget to only show up on this is a stealth site example. So I click save because I chose my page. Now under here I go to show unchecked. I scroll down, I find my page. This is a stealth site example, and I click save. By doing that and hitting refresh, now this ensures that if you have multiple stealth sites, you could have individual widgets for each stealth site. So the key thing is make sure that you choose the page, put show unchecked, and checkbox the page you want the widget to show up on for your stealth site. Alright? Well, that's everything for using your stealth sites. Hopefully it all makes sense. Good luck. Go to facebook.com/Tizish and ask questions.